Hello and welcome to our second video about surviving the impending zombie apocalypse.
Yep, second in the series. First episode was about knowing...
Know thine zombie.
Know thine zombie enemy.
Yep.
So go check that out before you watch this, because you're going to need it.
And this time it's what we would actually do, where we would go, how we would fend for ourselves in the zombie apocalypse.
This is the first instalment on the actual zombie plan.
Yep.
And this is going to take a while, I've got to be honest. This is something that we all need to think about very thoroughly.
They tell you at school you need to know, your fire emergency plan, and you're supposed to spend about 15 minutes on that. This is considerably more important and is going to take you a hell of a lot
Do you know what? It's pretty amazing that they don't do that in schools. You know, you go through your fire drills and all that kind of nonsense, but you never do a zombie drill.
No.
Why don't we have a zombie drill?
Which is more likely, I ask you.
Well, when CrankyDroogs rises to power,
Yep.
we're going to make it law to have zombie plans in schools, amongst many other.
Of course, in any workplace, anywhere, quite frankly.
Absolutely.
On the front of any shop or anything, they're going to have a zombie plan. This is where you go.
This is the zombie organizational.
Although the only problem that we
area.
have with this is that if everyone knows the zombie plan, then the zombies might know the zombie plan. And if they're intelligent zombies, then we'd all be fine.
Well, this goes back to the first video, and it depends on the type of zombie.
Well, exactly.
Anyway, moving on. The first thing that you need to consider when thinking about your zombie plan is locale. What's your location? That's probably the most important thing.
Absolutely. Because first of all, we're assuming that most services have come to a stop here. So you're probably going to need water.
Indeed.
As a legitimate source.
Security,
and obviously food. So those are your three biggest things. Food, you would think is very easy to get from, other people's houses and tins and things.
Yep.
Water, maybe water bottles, but you know what? You're probably going to need a stream.
You probably are.
But the question is do you locate yourself near a stream, or do you go somewhere where you can get to a stream?
Between us, we have two competing theories.
We do.
I'm still undecided. I lean towards one theory. I've always been a hide in the woods kind of guy.
And I've always been a stay at home and hope for the best kind of a guy.
Yeah. And well, let's go through those. Should we start with hiding in the woods? Okay. Well, the reason I think hiding in the woods is best is because it's not very, densely populated. It seems to me that the zombies aren't going to be derping around in the woods.
True.
Also, you can hide up trees.
You can, but the one thing I will say about zombies is that they go around in herds. And actually, if they stumble into the woods, there's nowhere for you to escape. Whereas actually in your house, you can go on the roof, you can wait them out, you've got food, if the water is still running, you've certainly still got water, you've got every amenity you could need in the house, you've got weapons, you've got knives, you've got bats, you've got everything. Yeah, whereas in the woods, you don't have any of that.
Well, when I say in the woods, what I mean is you properly go Rambo.
Oh, I know.
You go native.
Of course.
You start wearing skins, you paint your face.
Hide yourself. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but at the same time...
Maybe go Minecraft, build a farm.
But your scent might be a bit of an issue. I mean, I just don't like the woods. I think you're too exposed. You can't really see it coming. And if a herd arrives on top of you...
The likelihood of running into zombies is damn low. It's damn low.
Is it?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, the zombies are going to naturally flock to where the people are. And normally the people stay in cities, towns, that kind of thing.
But we're not close to really any towns or cities.
Well, we're not. But we're not talking... we've got to talk... We're appealing to a wider audience here, man.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's a very hard thing to do, because if you're in a city, what I would advise for you to do is get the fuck out of the city.
Definitely out of the city.
That's definitely not somewhere
if you live in the country,
you
could probably, like we do, you'd probably, hole up in a house somewhere.
Yeah, that was my tactic.
So you'd go in a house?
I would, personally, I think like a house like this, there's nothing really wrong with it. You close the curtains, you don't make a lot of noise, and, zombies just will never bother you. You lock your front door, of course.
Well, what if your postie becomes a zombie? You have a postman. What if he becomes a zombie? He knows where you live.
But why would he...
Postman zombie is going to come and eat you.
But he's not going to spend an excessive amount of time knocking on our door. Because don't forget, they don't only post to one address.
That's true. That is true. You don't have a personal postman.
No, we don't.
Nonetheless...
We're not that posh.
No, true.
No. Jeeves gets our post for us.
A house isn't that well fortified.
It isn't, but it doesn't need to be. You need a few planks of wood, but at the end of the day, a door is meant to stop people getting in. And at the end of the day, if a normal person can't get in under normal circumstances, why would a zombie be able to?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I mean, a house in the country seems reasonable. What if you live in the city?
Well, then I think you need to seriously consider. Like I always thought when I was in Birmingham, my plan was, as soon as I even heard about it, I've got two things.
Observe how much we've thought about this.
I either get straight on a train, straight back home, because that's the countryside. But if it's already too late, you know what I mean? If trains are not
Let's presume it's too late for that.
Okay, right. Then, because it's obviously got more canals than Venice, I would use the canal system.
The canal system.
The canal system.
To get to...
I would slowly work
get
my way
home
home
to your house
via
in the
the canal
country.
system and then go across fields, etc. I would utilise Birmingham's canal system.
Interesting. I mean, not everywhere has a canal system, so that might not be overly
I
useful.
was specifically looking at my circumstances. Other cities will have things that they can use. I don't know. But that was, from my personal experience, I thought, okay, what am I going to do? I live near canals. I'm going to use canals because zombies can't go in water. That's a known thing. Zombies don't like water.
No, they lack the coordination to swim.
So, that was, for me, a very sensible idea. For you, I mean, presumably, I don't know what kind of things you have like that. Do you have access to bodies of water?
I mean, I live up in Scotland, in a small town. It'd be fine. It'd be just like a village.
Sure.
I mean, I'd probably stay in the town.
A lot of crazy students around there. A lot of crazy zombie students.
Yeah, it is very densely populated areas in general.
It's what you want to avoid.
They're
Absolutely.
You need to avoid them, which is why cities, towns, get the hell out of there. But what if you can't escape from the city?
Well, then you just...
Because, say you're stuck in the middle of the city, and all the,
They might have quarantined you in the city.
They might have quarantined you, and you don't have canals to, hop about the place. I love how you'd use the canal system. Do you have a boat? Or would you just swim along the canal?
I would create a raft. Don't forget,
create a raft.
There's a Wix next
sea
door.
turtles.
There's a Wix next door to the canal that I was going to use. Because I used to work there. And so I thought to myself, well, I'll go to Wix and I'll make myself a raft. I mean, it'd be very simple. It'd take me like an hour or so.
No sea turtles then.
No sea turtles, because there aren't a lot of sea turtles in Birmingham. Although I could go to the aquarium and steal some sea turtles.
Yeah, you could.
I could actually, the Sea Life Centre. But I think they probably wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
we're assuming that society is broken down by now.
Okay. But so I mean, at the end of the day, it depends where you live. It's not going to be easy. You can't assume that this is going to be an easy process. You've got to, ride your luck and hope, because at the end of the day, you could have the best plan. You could have set it all up previously. You could have a bunker somewhere that you made years ago.
Yeah,
right?
true.
And you just get unlucky, Your mum turns around one day and just accidentally bites you when you
bites your face off.
But
most important thing, stay away from the densely populated areas.
Yeah.
Episode 3 will be coming up soon. Stay tuned.